18 points for Lando Norris. Gone. 12 points for Oscar Piastri. Gone. McLaren lost this race in the rules, and the championship is wide open once again. A double disqualification ensured that McLaren has shot themselves in the foot, and we have T Max coming right back at you, McLaren. Tonight we ask, what was McLaren thinking? Aniket, what is this, man?
It's very unfortunate. What more can I say? They had a decent race. Lando was pole. Oscar was in the top five. Ultimately, Lando finished P2, as you said. Oscar P4. But things happened, right? We saw it with Ferrari earlier in the year as well with the disqualification, and the same thing has now happened to McLaren. Before the race, McLaren and Lando specifically said that they wouldn't be taking any risks to ensure that this championship is just seamlessly sealed within the next couple of races. But with this disqualification for both drivers now, the championship is wide open again, right? Max Verstappen is back in it. We got two races to go. Although those two races play to McLaren's strengths, now you never know, right? Now they'll be ultra conservative with everything, with regard to pit stops, with regard to how they tweak their car for the races, because you never know with one tiny change to the car, something might happen, right? And yeah, and Verstappen might just swoop in to take the lead of the championship. So this is boiling down to another last race decider, and neutral F1 fans definitely are excited for this disqualification, because here we go. Here we see Verstappen contending
Yeah.
for yet another championship with some of his rivals. So it's up to McLaren now. They need to like just go in for the kill or be killed themselves based on how things go in the last two races.
Yeah, and it felt like, uh, it just crazy, right? The whole day you said you see McLaren trying to beat Red Bull at their own game and then shooting themselves, right? Uh, we saw at turn one, we shall come to in a moment. Lando tried to outmax Max Verstappen. Uh,
Hmm.
they took these risks. Let me ask you, Niket, do you think this is greed? Do you think this is incompetence? And if they really end up losing the title to Max, should heads roll at McLaren? This is really shocking. Like you already saw in the beginning of the year, right? When Ferrari had the double DSQ, and you know what it will entail? It will entail a straightaway disqualification. So why even do this?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense from the team's perspective. I mean, they are the fastest car on the track, and they don't need to be taking such rules in this intense fight towards the championship, right? Because anything can happen. So it seemed a little senseless from a experienced team, and some of the most experienced people that they have on in the team as well. I mean, figures like Andrea Stella, who've been in F1 for a long time, know things about know how these things work. So little surprised and bemused as to why this has happened. So
Yeah.
uh, I mean, it was Lando did his work, right? He got pole, he got P2, all the hard work got undone just because of excessive plank wear. So now he has to do it all over again in the last two races. And the pressure is mounting on Lando as well. Now it's not his fault, also, right? So
Yeah.
the team needs to get their act together. Otherwise, this could be very difficult situation for McLaren.
But maybe that's why he got pole and P2, right?
Yeah, could be
Because
the case
because they ran the
because
car so low.
uh, I mean, I don't understand why teams do it or why teams take a risk. As you said, it's a little surprising. Why just? I mean, did they do that because they thought they wouldn't be fast this weekend? Is the question which we all want to know, or the answers you all want to know for on this question? Like, even if they didn't do it, they'd probably be in the top five, right? So why
Yeah.
why take that risk? Why get disqualified instead of getting like a comfortable top five position? So yeah, it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, in the hope of getting a few points, a few extra points. Now they have thrown away 25 points. And with this, the, the championship has become very, very tight now. You have, uh, what do you have? You have Lando Norris, just 24 points ahead of Oscar and Max, right? And you have Oscar and Max on equal points. So now the drama is ratcheting up now. Uh, and how many points do you have left? 58 points up for grabs right now, right? You have 2 races and a sprint at Qatar and Abu Dhabi. Qatar has a sprint. So, yeah, man, 58 points. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, let's come to Oscar's side, right? Oscar's like kind of like he's just there in the championship right now. He's been having a string of poor results, and this is another poor result he had. He was he was P5 before Kimi Antonelli got his very unfortunate penalty.
Yeah.
But now that P4 is also wiped off, so basically he's had a rotten run of form in in these last 6 races, and now
Yeah.
Verstappen is level on points with him after being like what 100 or so points behind,
Yeah,
like
that's what I was
on
trying to get
Netherlands
at.
time.
After the Dutch Grand Prix, Max was what 104 points behind Oscar. Gone, just
Level
gone.
on points. This is a classic case of how you bottle a championship lead by Oscar, and
Yeah,
probably will be studied by future generations to come as to why Oscar and how Oscar bottled this entire lead.
yeah. He,
So
he gave up
McLaren,
100. He gave up 104 points to Lando. Sorry, to Max, and he was
yeah,
also what around 30 odd points. I don't remember the exact number, but he was 30 odd points ahead of Lando, and Lando is now 24 points ahead of him, right? So
if McLaren bottled this drivers' championship, there's going to be a lot of words going to be said
man,
because there were two drivers who were comfortable in their positions, P1 and P2, and looks like things are going to be heading down to the wire with how everything is unfolding.
let me ask you this: if McLaren does indeed end up losing the title fight to Max in the drivers' championship, do you think one of Zach or Andrea or both should be shown the door?
I don't think that's going to happen, but I think definitely their positions will be in at risk. But they're still the constructors champions, so you got to give them credit for that
Yeah.
by a long way. So, but there'll be a lot of questions asked, right, as to why this has happened. This could be like McLaren's 2007 China moment, right, when they called in Lewis too late into the pits
Oh
and then he
man,
beached it.
that
It's kind of reminds me of that right now. Imagine if Lando, like, what do you say, crashes or something next race, or like he has a bad pit stop
yeah,
and he has to fight through the field and say he finishes P4 or P5 while Verstappen wins, and you got Verstappen taking another chunk of points. So it's a lot of things that which is going to be said if they lose his championship.
yeah,
So
man.
I hope for
This
McLaren's sake they keep their heads cool, and
right, right.
Lando's and Oscar's sake, whoever's fighting for the championship keep their heads cool as well, because
Yeah, cool heads are
Max will not
really. Hmm.
let me finish by saying Max will not lose his head because he's like got nothing to lose. He's going to go in. He's going to take risks.
He's Mad Max. He's going to kill you.
Yeah, one opportunity he got the slightest opportunity today. He made Lando make an unforeseen mistake or an unforced error, like they call in some other sports, and got the lead and never looked back. Right, so he's
Yeah,
going to go in with nothing to lose in these next two Grand Prix and just give it his all. While Lando and Oscar will have to be a little more conservative from their perspective. So yeah, we'll see how it unfolds.
yeah, and man, it's just insane. Right now, Lando and Oscar, they're under immense pressure now, right? Um, like they had this in the bag, and now they're throwing it all away. I mean, about to throw it all away. You have Oscar very likely to lose P2 in the championship if this
Yeah,
continues. Even if Max doesn't win, he might still end up taking P2 from Oscar. Now, I don't know if it's already taken. I've not compared the number of race wins, which orders, but they're equal on points now. So, yeah, I mean, this, oh man. Like even today, you could see, I think, the Lando again had his characteristic poor start, which
characteristic post.
I,
Oh my god.
I mean, okay. Characteristic from 2024, right? I know this year Lando has worked a lot on his starts, and credit to him, he has done well. But we saw the pattern from last year emerge again today when Lando would bottle his starts and end up losing a couple of positions his start, and you saw that happen today as well. He tried to play Max's tactics on Max. Like, come on, who does that, man? Right?
Hmm.
And he went to the wall, and that's a funny thing because literally every casual F1 commentator was saying that it's going to be hard for Max today because that's the dirty side of the track, and it'll take time for your tires to warm up if you drive on that side, on the the P2 P4 side of the track. And what does Max do? He goes to that side of the track. So he probably killed his tire warm up right there. Right? He's already slow to start. So he felt he was under pressure from Max, and he went to
You
the
mean
dirt.
Lando? You mean Lando goes to the other side, not
Sorry,
Max?
sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean Lando. Yeah, so Lando started on the clean side as P1, and then he went on the dirty side where Max was, right? And then coupled with the sports side, he probably felt he's under pressure from Max, and then he went on the dirty side of the track. He probably affected his tire warm up, and then Max went to the clean side. He switched, and then Lando missed his braking point, and he went too deep, and then Max took the lead, and then Max kept the lead.
Yeah, I mean, also McLaren's DSQ was by the finest of margins. So I was just reading it right now. I think
Hmm.
I'm not getting the exact number, but about like 2 or 3 millimeters or something like that that they were disqualified by. So very very fine margins, but that's F1 for you. I mean, you have to be compliant with the rules.
Right. To be fair, that plank itself is very thin. It's only 9 millimeters thin.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So yeah, man, it's who would have thought the championship would be blown wide open in Vegas, right?
You know who benefits the most from this disqualification is the Ferrari drivers. P4 and P8. We prayed for times like these.
Really? You call that?
They can now gloat all over social media that come on, we got this P4 and P8 now.
Oh my
They're
god.
gonna gloat like Lewis finished P8 from P20 instead of like actually saying the facts. But it is what it is.
Yep, yep. Yeah, just insane, man. Now, well, that's about McLaren. Now, if we move on to the other things that happened in the race today, Aniket, I know, driver of the day was Max Verstappen, according to the voting and all of that. Which, I mean, sure, I get it. Max is a popular driver, but having seen the race in full, I think the driver of the day is someone else, Aniket. Right? I think the driver of the day is Kimi Antonelli. He started on soft tires. He took an insane risk at the beginning, and then I think he got caught up in the kerfuffle at the back where I think Stroll and Bortoleto and all of them kind of hit. He took some damage, and then Kimi pit after 2 laps. I think to change his front wing or whatever, put on the hards, and then he went to the end of the race. 48 laps on the hard tires, Aniket. 48 laps. And the defense that he pulled off on Oscar Piastri, the one-time championship leader, and he's a rookie himself. Kimi Antonelli is a rookie. This is his first season in Formula One, and the defense he pulled off, and that too on a track that you know they really don't race a lot, right? I don't think any support races happen. I'm not sure. I know F1 Academy happened today, but I don't think F2 and F3 happen at Vegas. So it's not even a track that he has raced in the past, right? And yeah, this man, he just pulls off an insane defense, and uh, yeah, he had a 5 second penalty because of whatever the false start and all of that. But
Which was also again very close.
yeah, and but still, he pulled off 5 seconds on Charles Leclerc to ensure that he's ahead of Charles Leclerc, right? So no
Yeah.
podium for Ferrari.
Even after the double disqualification, it's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, do you agree? Driver of the day, Kimi Antonelli.
Oh yeah, like from where he started, right? Going into the weekend, I had him as my rookie of the race in our
Yes.
predictions, and I thought I was going to be like very wrong because his wet qualifying was absolutely. shambolic. He was
Yeah,
P17, while his teammate was up in like what the podium spots. I think I don't. I think in the
somewhere in the
podium
front.
spots.
Yeah, P4, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
P3 or
So
P4. Yeah.
Mercedes. So firstly, he had a very good start. He took advantage of all the the mess which was going on in front of him. Gained quite a number of spots there, and then Mercedes executed the strategy beautifully. Right, they put him on the harder tire, which was very durable and went long. And then he also, he used his extremely young and wise head to put himself in the best spot, put himself in those sweet spots, right? We saw it in Brazil as well when he was defending against Verstappen. So he's kind of learned from that. He's applied it to, his driving here as well by keeping a faster McLaren as well as a Ferrari behind him.
Mm.
So great driving, definitely driver of the day. And we've seen how Kimi's talent has grown over these past few races, right? He had a shaky start to the season. People are calling him like, maybe Mercedes put him in too early. Maybe he needs to go to Williams, and probably Carlos Sainz needs to join Mercedes ASAP and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I
So
remember.
people are saying that.
Yeah,
And now he's very close to like getting sixth in the championship. He's barely like 10 or 12 points behind Lewis Hamilton. So this could be very well on the cards, and Mercedes are looking good. Qatar is going to be a cool night race. So is Abu Dhabi. Is going to be a little more cooler in the night.
yeah.
So they'll be a little more favorable for Mercedes. And
My word,
with,
Aniket, you are right. He's 15 points behind Lewis.
yeah, and with Lewis's form, like he is not looking forward to these next two races. I'm telling you. So yeah, he could get that P6 off Lewis, which is like going to be another nail in the coffin for Lewis Hamilton, unfortunately. But Kimi can go and say, I beat Lewis Hamilton in this championship, so he could do that in his first season as a rookie. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, Kimi is like, he's definitely growing, and I mean, he might just be like onto Russell's tail next season in terms of fighting for the championship. If Mercedes have, or what people are saying, Mercedes have the best car next
Mm-hmm.
season or best engine next season. So let's see how it pans out. And there's also one more thing from Kimi's race. He was, I think, he's one of the only few drivers to get onto the podium after starting in the, what do you say, starting P17 or below. The other two
Yeah,
drivers
yeah.
are Max and
Mm-hmm.
Nico Hulkenberg. So
Wow,
very few drivers have done that. So
that's
he's just the
rarefied
third driver
company,
this season.
man.
Yeah, I mean, Nico Hulkenberg is what, 36, 37 years old, lot
Yeah.
of years of experience. So Max Verstappen is probably
One
one of the best
of
drivers of
yeah.
this generation. So yeah, Kimi is definitely in that elite company as far as results this season.
Yeah, I think Toto will be feeling very happy right now.
I
He'll
think
be
this decision seems vindicated, right? The
exactly
brave call even Toto
right.
had, the trust which he had on Kimi to get into
Oh
this
yeah,
very
absolutely. Yeah.
competitive
Hmm.
Mercedes seat, replacing probably the greatest driver in F1, and then he's doing exceptional things there at Mercedes in his first season.
Yeah, and I mean everyone kind of asked the question, right? At the beginning when Kimi was announced, they said, "Hey Toto, why don't you give the 2 years to Carlos Sainz and let Kimi Antonelli bed in it, like you said at Williams or whatever." And I think Mercedes only wanted to give 1 year to Carlos Sainz, right? They didn't want to give more than that,
Yeah,
and Carlos obviously wanted more years from them. And eventually, Mercedes just went ahead and signed Kimi on a permanent deal, and he got extended as well now for next year as well, along with George. So yeah, man, like you said, Toto must be feeling really, really vindicated right now with the way Kimi has shown, and he's really come of age in the last few races, right? If you look at Kimi's results, um, second consecutive podium and third for the season,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
And like 2 races he was ahead of George Russell in Mexico City and Sao Paulo, and today in Vegas he was just behind George Russell. So he's keeping up. Man, George, he's giving good.
I
Might
think he's giving George a run for his money, right?
exactly, yeah. I mean, we might see. You know, maybe from next season or the season after. What do you think? We might see like a Lando Oscar kind of situation, right? If Kimi continues his development.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Next season, the new regulations, right? You never know with how teams are going to like adapt to it and how drivers are going to adapt to it.
Yeah.
If like some drivers could like the regulations, some may not like it. So you go into a situation which is start from zero. So
Right.
anything can happen. George could be very well under pressure by Kimi, and that again is crucial because we're looking at Verstappen from a long-term perspective as well, right? Where he will decide to ultimately bed in for his next phase three of his career, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And between Mercedes and Red Bull. So now both of
Right.
these drivers are under pressure as to who will deliver the results. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens next year. Everything is on the table for next year.
Yeah. Everything is on the table for next year, and now suddenly, for some reason, everything is table for this year. So thank you, McLaren.
Yeah, unexpectedly, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Kimi, but also Aniket, I think a shocking, not a shocking, but I think a disappointment from today's race has to be Gabriel Bortoleto, right? The instant at the beginning, he he really sent it. He gained 6 places into turn one, completely missed his braking point, took Lance Stroll out, got a penalty, retired the car himself because his car was done. I think probably also caused Kimi's early pit stop, if I remember correctly. So, shocker of a race for Gabriel Bortoleto, isn't it?
Yeah, he went bowling into turn one, right? So uh I think Sauber from the start they had early in the season and everything, they've not had the best of the last few weekends.
Hmm.
And especially Botleto. His home race did not go well. We thought like there'll be a bounce back this race. But then he got caught up in that first lap melee, which was probably caused just by him.
Right.
So yeah, it's been unfortunate. Like what his last six races, he scored 0 0 0 1 0 0. That's his point streak.
Oh my god.
So
That is bad.
that is very bad. So I mean, he's not had like extremely like good results, but he was at least on the cusp of points, or he had that odd showing where he got into the points. But yeah, these last six races have been absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
So
and other than Nico has been getting points, right? He was seventh today. He was ninth at Sao Paulo. He was
yeah,
eighth in Austin. So yeah, at least he's getting something out of the car. Bortoleto has been a bit off for the past few races. But my God, what a weekend today, Aniket. And yeah, I mean, we must talk about Ferrari considering our allegiances. But Aniket, you know, potentially two drivers are already ahead of Ferrari in the standings by themselves, and potentially the third, Max Verstappen. How bad? What a wretched season, man. You have drivers by themselves outscoring your entire team. And you call yourself a champion team. John Elkan goes off on the drivers, but what is that setup and that car you're giving them, right? Like absolutely horrible.
yeah. I mean, we've said it time and time again. Now they completely revamped their car for the season, which was not the greatest of ideas. And you've given your drivers probably some of the worst cars to drive
And the worst engineer.
and the worst
You want to
engineer
talk
in terms
about
of.
Ricardo Adami and Lewis Hamilton, Aniket, in the qualifying?
I mean, it's been the case the entire season, right? Lewis is trying to ask some information. Adami gives some other information regarding like the quali lap which was aborted.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the message came at the right time regarding if Lewis was safe or not. There have been multiple versions of the story, but from what I'm believing, it's that Lewis got the information late about him being asked to push by Adami. So he aborted that final lap thinking he didn't have enough time or he didn't cross the finish line in time to get that last lap in, but he did. And that was not communicated properly by the engineer in either the lap before or just before you're starting his lap. So
Yeah.
that's just one of the many incidents that happened, many communication issues that's been seen throughout the season. In the race as well, we exchanged a few messages on X. We saw that how the communication was going.
Yeah.
Adami is saying pace is good, but Lewis is like, I mean, are you serious? Pace is actually not good, and he's nowhere catching the car in front. So he's
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
he's
also another theory, Aniket, that um, So Lewis was told, I think probably just after he crossed the line or something, that he did make the line right in time, but Lewis obviously saw himself that the red light was on, right, because the session was over.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
And what they were saying is that Lewis believed that light over his own engineer because that's the level of trust he has in Ricardo Adami. So despite Adami saying that you're good, you have crossed the line, push, he did not believe him because he himself
Mm-hmm.
saw a red light and he thought he did not make it, right? It was very
Yeah.
close. He made it in the final, not even a second, right? He made it to the line with less than a second left. So it was very, very close. And
Yeah.
the fact that he did not believe his own engineer should tell you everything what's going on with this team right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly Lewis Hamilton's worst season as an F1 driver. He said it himself. He said it again today after the race, and he said that he's really not looking forward to even next season based on how the season has gone
Yeah, man, that was
and
sad to
whatever
hear.
he's.
That was
Yeah,
really
I mean,
sad to
like
hear.
for me as a big Lewis Hamilton fan, it's like I don't have any reactions right now because the season has been so bad for him that whatever he says is like just going to break me. So that's why I'm not giving any reaction right now, or off air also. But it's very difficult to see him like this. I mean, we're talking about Bortoleto's last six results. Here are Lewis Hamilton's last what 8 results. Starting from Hungary. Hungary he scored 0 points. Netherlands he scored zero. Then you have Italy. I think he had 8. Then Azerbaijan 4, Singapore 4, Austin he had that one good result. He scored 17, including the sprint. Mexico 4, Brazil 2, and again Las Vegas 1. So
Even Brazil, that two was because of the sprint. Um,
yeah,
Vegas is
exactly.
4 now because, well, he's P8 after the disqualification.
Yeah, so he'll have 4 points. But in
Yeah.
comparison, look at Antonelli's last 3 races: 8 points in Mexico, 25 points in Brazil, and now he'll get 12 points or 15 points, right? He'll get
15,
15
15.
points
Hmm.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, after that China sprint, we were all like gloating Ferrari, and we were all thinking, "Oh, this is the season for Lewis to come back
Man,
and
I
all." But
thought Lewis is back. I thought Lewis is back when he won that China sprint.
yeah, but it's just been like crashing down ever since. And even the last season at Mercedes, where he had so many issues, he was fed up with the car, was like 100 times better than this because he got podiums, he got a few
He
wins here
won
and there.
races, man.
He ended his Mercedes career on a high, and here he is in a new team, probably his worst season ever. That's what I guess Ferrari does to you. I mean, the less said about Leclerc, the better because he's just there getting results which mean nothing right now. At
Yeah.
the way the other teams are running. So Ferrari is going to have a probably one of the biggest off seasons in years since since 2020 when the regulations changed. Sorry, since 2013, then the regulations changed. That time they didn't get it right. They didn't get it right in 2022. Now we'll see what happens in
Well, they
2026.
did get right initially in 2022, but then the in-season development completely butchered it.
Yes, yeah.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of Ferrari debrief we'll do over the course of the off season. But yeah, I think we should leave it at that for now. And they're going to finish P4 in this championship. They're going to be outscored by Mercedes in the last 5 or 6 races. They're going to be outscored by Max Verstappen company in the last 4 or 5 races, just by Verstappen himself alone. And they're going to
I mean,
finish P4. And John
Lando and
Elkin
Oscar are
thinks that
already.
drivers
I
are the
think.
problem.
I think Lando is already ahead of. Oscar was before the DSQ as well, but Lando is ahead of Ferrari and yeah, Oscar and Max soon.
Mm.
Yeah, Ferrari is on how many points now? 378 or something. Yeah, 378. Ferrari is on. Lando's on 390, and Max and Oscar are on 366. So, yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what a wretched season for our team. Anyways, yeah, I think that's basically all the big things that happened today. We will see. Yeah, we will see how this championship plays out, and yeah, let's quickly do our prediction review before we end the before we end the
Yeah,
pod
and
today.
things have changed slightly, I guess, after the
Yes. I
disqualifications.
scored the points before the disqualification, so I
We'll see
need to
how it.
rescore them now. Yeah, so let's just do it live. So pole position, I said Max, you said Lando. That point you keep. And then P3, I went for Charles, you went for Oscar. So, well, it's still 0 even after the disqualification.
Yeah,
Then, let's see, next is P2. P2, I said Lando, you
but
said
no.
George. Initially, I got the 1 point. Now you get the 1 point.
Let's
My
go.
goodness, what
My
is
George
this?
Russell.
What
He
is
does.
this?
P2 does everything.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
I
This
predicted
is
George just for the
terrible.
fun of it because I know Mercedes is going to be good, but I didn't expect him to get P2, and especially on top of a disqualification. That's so fun.
And then for P1, well, Max won, so I get that point. You
Yeah.
said Lando, so that's nothing. Rookie, you said Kimi, I'm giving it to you, no questions. I said
Yes.
Ollie Behrman.
Unfortunately, 12th place for him.
Yeah, and then Bust. So I said neither kick Sauber in the point. So, well,
Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg did it.
To India party.
And so I don't get any points for that. You said Ollie Behrman will not be in the points, and he didn't, right? Or
12th. He finished P12.
did the late disqualification change it? This is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. Oh
That is what
my
I'm
god.
trying to
Don't
say.
tell me. Don't tell me. Okay.
Yeah, he's 10th now.
Oh, that is not helping me.
Yes. Okay. And you're still beating me handily for this week. Hot take was I said no
Oh, my
racing
hot
bulls
take
in
is
the.
going to be right. Oh, shit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What is happening? All right, all right.
Because
So
of the
I said
DSQ.
no
Okay,
racing
yeah.
bulls in the top 10, which is wrong, right? There was
Yeah.
Hadjar.
Isaac Haja. Yeah.
Oh, he became 6th. Oh yeah, with the DSQ.
Great result, yeah.
He was actually 8th, but yeah. So
Uh,
Hadjar became 6th. But your hot take was that no McLaren in the podium places.
I should get like 5
Oh
points for
my
this
god. Oh my
after the
god.
DSQ.
Oh my
Give
god.
me 4. Give me 4 points.
And
What a
then big
crazy
surprise.
prediction
I
that was.
said both Williams in the top 10. No, Albon retired. So
Yes.
that is definitely not changing. Even though Science did. So I'm not getting points. You said Kimi Antonelli ahead of George. Okay, that didn't happen either.
That was
So
close. Didn't happen.
you win this round, Aniket, 4-1. And the total right now for this season is I'm at 19.5 and you are at 25.5. So Aniket, you have a 6 point lead going into the last two races. Now, I would say that's basically unassailable, but maybe you'll pull a Lando, who knows?
Yeah, I think I need to play a little more conservative or something in these last two races to maintain that lead.
Man, you got 4
So
points. What are you crying about?
I mean that's on the base of disqualification, right? I'm not expecting another DSQ or something which will swing tides in either our favor.
McLaren
So
lost the title and gave you the title. Okay, so yeah, that's about it for Las Vegas, fellas. So now, basically, it's Qatar is the one next. It's a sprint. It's a sprint weekend, and Max Verstappen has all the momentum going to Doha. Do you agree, Aniket?
yeah, he does. I mean, we are saying it's a McLaren track, but with Verstappen now, you never know. I
Never
mean,
discount Max.
McLaren will have to revisit their plan configuration
Yep.
for the last two races. Make sure that everything is, everything is scrutinized well internally,
Yep.
and don't know if that's going to like make them lose space, or we are not sure of that. So keep an eye out for the first practice, and
Right.
we'll know. And it's
Yeah.
a sprint weekend, so there's more points up
Yes,
for
it's a
grabs.
sprint weekend, which Max likes because then you have
Yes.
more drama that is potentially possible. But yeah, I guess
But
that's
let's
it.
not
Go ahead.
before we end. Let's not forget that Lando needs only 2 points. I mean, he needs to outscore Oscar or Verstappen by just 2 points to win the championship. So we could either see a coronation in Qatar, or we could see it going towards the final race of the season.
Agreed. Agreed. No, I agree. I mean, but so the thing is, I mean, yeah, even before today's race, Max, sorry, not Max, what am I saying, Max? Lando could have been coordinated in Qatar, very close. But the thing is, I think what you would agree is that before today's race, Aniket, Lando had basically both his hands on the championship trophy, right? And with this DSQ, one hand is gone. So the chances have definitely gone down a lot, right? With this penalty. So we will see. It's still, of course, advantage Lando Norris, right? So we will see how Qatar plays out. And before we end today, if you're still watching with us right now, and let us know what you think about this penalty, right? Do you think the penalty was fair, or do you think the penalty was rigged? So if you think the penalty was rigged, type rigged in the comments. And if you think it's fair, type fair in the comments and tell the world that rules are rules, right? So we will see how that plays out in Qatar. McLaren will definitely be on tender hooks right now. They had an engine. Don't forget, Aniket, they had an engine DNF in the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort for Lando Norris, and now they have this flanker issue. So they'll be, like you said, very, very conservative and cautious.
Yeah, and
And
Verstappen has a fresher engine. Don't forget that.
oh my goodness, how did I forget that?
Yeah, he had a fresher
So
power unit in Brazil, and that's going to carry him to the next couple of races also.
absolutely, yeah. We all
And they'll
thought,
probably turn it up.
hmm,
I don't want this sport to end because one last point.
yes,
They might probably turn up the engine furthermore for Qatar, and for Qatar especially. That's the race. They have to win that.
they have
So
to
who
win. Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, we all thought T Max was done, but ladies and gentlemen, T Max is back, and that's the end of our pod. Subscribe to our channel if you like. Leave a like, drop a comment, tell us what you think about the penalty, and what are your predictions for the final final two races and a sprint going into the business end of the season. The championship is heating up, the season is ending, and Aniket and I, as always, will bring you all the action right here on Pod and Apex. So stay subscribed, stay tuned, and see you very, very soon for the Qatar preview. Bye bye.